Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tamby here. So I thought to do a series on this book right here. And no, this isn't just one person. They're actually twins. To be honest, I think they are identical twins, which is awesome. So this book is called Psychic Intelligence. And it says, tune in and discover the power of your intuition. And the authors are Terry and Linda Jamison. I hope I pronounced their last name right. And they're identical twins, and they're both psychic. To be honest, everyone in the world has the potential to be psychic. There are just people who choose to either not hone their abilities or to hone their abilities, and people who could just shut it off and not even know that they even have that ability. So yeah, I'm actually a lot farther, but because I want to, I don't want you guys to miss out. And I hope what I'm going to do in this video is okay. If it's not, someone tell me. I designed this little bookmark that I'm going to start making copies of and making actual bookmarks. And I'm going to make multiple copies of this design I did, and I'm going to be selling them. So if you're interested in a bookmark, just let me know. I'm selling them for $2 plus shipping. Both sides decorated. This is just the demo that I created. A rainbow with a sunflower. So I am going to read from the book, and this is, I am going to do by chapter. I'm sorry, I have to click out of something. Okay, there you go. I'm sorry. So I am going to read you guys the first chapter in this book. And this book is called Psychic Intelligence. And I did not write this book in any way, shape, or form. So part 1, the psychic in all of us. Most people associate intelligence with our ability to acquire knowledge on a conscious level. But psychic intelligence has more to do with profound subconscious knowing that transcends time and space. We are professional psychics, but every single one of you also has the ability to tap into this higher source of knowing and to use that information to create a better life for yourself. Why, then, isn't everyone using this intimate gift to the best of their ability? To begin this book, we'll explain why you may have lost touch with your own psychic intelligence, what you can do to get it back. You've got it. All you need are the tools to recognize and cultivate it, and the courage and self-confidence to put it into action. Sorry, I fell a hair. The psychic twins, who we are and what we do. You may think that because we are identical twins and share the same DNA, we're naturally more telepathic than most. And in fact, we do have twin telepathic experiences on a daily basis. We don't need Blackberries or iPhones to communicate with each other. We use twinberry mental telepathy. But according to a guy, Leon Playfair, a researcher of the paranormal and author of Twin Telepathy, only about 30% of twins have actually experienced a telepathic connection, while the vast majority have no particular psychic bond between them. We, however, were born not only with the ability to communicate psychically with each other, but also with abilities that reach beyond our twinship, which enable us to be reliably psychic for anyone at any time. In Westchester, the small Pennsylvania farming town where we grew up, no one had ever heard of, much less met, a psychic. So for as long time, neither we nor our family and friends thought much about our abilities. Although both of our parents were artists, our father, Philip Jamison, is a master watercolorist, a national academician, I don't know that word, I apologize. And our mother was also a gifted painter. They were in many ways quite conservative. While they applauded our inherited artistic talents, they tended to either dismiss or discourage our ability to know things we had no way of knowing. The first psychic experience either one of us can recall occurred when we were 5. Terry won a prize at her school fair for correctly naming the exact number of jelly beans in a jar. She didn't just guess the closest number, she was exactly right. Later, as teenagers, we started predicting what our friends' careers would be. Although we didn't learn until many years after that our prediction had came true, still, we always had this sense that we would become famous artists and designers, and we didn't spend a lot of time thinking about how or why we seemed to know or predict things other people simply could not foresee. It wasn't until our mid-teens, when we started to experience a series of baffling, debilitating health issues, that we began our continuing quest for spiritual knowledge. It was that ongoing search that eventually led us to discover the Buddhist philosophy practice that provided us with spiritual sustenance during those years of physical pain, as it continued to do today. All our lives we believed that there was a philosophy that could help us find answers. We had already tried many different meditation techniques and spiritual practices. When our friend Susan invited us to attend a Buddhist meeting, we found ourselves sitting on the floor of someone's small apartment, surrounded by people, facing a scroll in a box on the wall, chanting in a language we didn't understand. Their combined voices, chanting in total harmony, sounded very much like music. But it was genuine excitement of the people sharing their personal experiences and the benefits they'd received from the practice that impressed us the most. These people had irrepressible spirit, fueled by their faith that any obstacle could be overcome. Somehow, we knew this was the practice that was going to help us. Since that first meeting, Buddhism has empowered us to discover new dimensions of courage, strength, resilience we never knew we had. Still, the path that eventually led to our current work has been neither straightforward nor easy. After graduating high school, we studied painting and sculpture at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. We received a BFA degree in painting and art education from Tyler School of Art, Temple University in Philadelphia. Then after college, we moved to New York City and began our careers as comedic performance artists. We started our own company called Pop Theatrics, and we entertained at events for such as Bob Hope and Pavarotti and Jacqueline and Donald Trump, and share the White House for the President Ronald Reagan and his wife. We even starred in a short film written especially for us that aired on Saturday Night Live. This was a huge honor and definitely one of the highlights of our theatrical career. Every comic dream of being on NSL, we got on the show without even auditioning. After 12 years in New York, we moved to Los Angeles, hoping to further our television and film careers as comic actresses. As we honed our stand-up act and the improv in the Comedy Store in Hollywood, We were also quietly and deliberately developing our innate abilities as psychic and mediums. Although we'd been practicing tuning into our intuition for some time now, we became especially interested in psychic work in our 20s. Having spent years battling chronic illness and pain, we instinctively knew that the medications our doctors had been prescribing weren't helping us, and we believed we could use our psychic abilities to discover a more healing path. To get the answers we needed, we began to work with a pendulum, a form of dowsing that similar to using a Y-shaped stick or a rod to find water or metal in the ground. We would hold the pendulum dangling from a string and ask questions with a simple yes or no answer, such as whether a particular medicine or therapy would be positive for us or whether we should take a particular job. Having decided that a yes answer would make the pendulum circle clockwise and a no answer would cause it to circle counterclockwise, we gave ourselves the auto-suggestion. To give yourself a auto-suggestion, you simply have a clear intention, state out loud the outcome you've decided upon. In this case, the pendulum circling clockwise would indicate yes, and its circling counterclockwise would indicate no. Early on, we would even take the pendulum to the grocery store and ask it whether or not particular food would be beneficial to our health. Many years ago, our friends were trying to talk us out of moving to Los Angeles, but when we asked the pendulum if we should move, the answer was a clear yes. California has now been our home for 20 years. At the same time, we were working with the pendulum to figure out how to improve our health. We also worked extensively with alternative therapies, including Chinese medicine, acupuncture, classical homeopathy, various forms of chiropractic, and countless special diets and different types of prayer and meditation. We even went to a shamanic healer. In the end, we became our own best diagnostics and in the process discovered what would become an important aspect of our life work, which is medical intuition. Our heightened awareness of illness made us especially sensitive to other diseases and disorders. And we have been doing medical intuitive work for many years now. For more on this, see Chapter 10. We'd been making predictions for our friends and using our psychic abilities for years without really thinking of them as anything special. When one day we were sitting at a charming little place called the Rose Cafe in Venice Beach, California, and Linda began to spontaneously write on her napkin. The words seemed to come out of nowhere, and before she knew it, she filled 5 napkins with writing. And at the time, she really had no idea what was happening. But we later learned she had been in a state that's known as conscious trance, in doing channeled or automatic writing. When we returned home, Terry felt compelled to try automatic writing too. She soon realized she also had this gift, which ultimately became and still remains our primary tool for receiving psychic information about the past and present and future. Interestingly, Terry's automatic handwriting looked quite different from Linda's. Linda's writing is loopy and embellished with elaborate flourish and very much like a medieval manuscript. Terry's writing is a smaller script with flat lines and words sometimes joined together. It somewhat resembles an earthquake. Neither of these writing styles bear much resemblance to our normal writing. Shortly after we moved to Los Angeles, we figured out that there weren't many acting jobs calling for adult twins, unless your last name was Barbie and you worked with a stripper pole. But our psychic reputation was spreading by word of mouth, mostly through friends, and eventually we posted a tiny ad for our services in a small local publication. Much to our surprise, a producer for NBC television saw it and called us. After asking to confirm that we were really twins and really psychic, she challenged us to do spontaneous readings for her over the phone, which we did. She told us that we had just given her the most accurate reading she's ever had, and invited us to appear with Sylvia Brown, who was at the time probably the best known psychic in the country, and 3 other intuitives on an NBC program called The Other Side. It was the first of 3 appearances on that show. Oh no. Hold on a second. And we diagnose people's illnesses on air, with the respective doctor verifying our accuracy. The psychic twins were off and running. Over the years, we appeared on more than 100 television and radio programs and starred in 15 documentary films profiling our psychic gifts. We have made countless public predictions of world events, most notably 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, on Art Bell's Coast to Coast AM radio program on November 2nd, 1999, that have cemented our reputation and made us the most documented psychics in the world. We assisted law enforcement in solving murder cases and reuniting families, and predicted all kinds of natural disasters, and even diagnosed serious medical conditions and diseases. But it's the work we do quietly in private that has been our most greatest reward. For more than 25 years now, we have helped thousands of clients all over the world to gain insight on their past and better understand their present and determine their true purpose. Our role, as we see it, is to shine a light into darkness of unknown so that people are better able to trust their own intuition and understand the mysterious world in which we live. Gain a new perspective that allows them to make better choices and create more authentic, meaningful life for themselves, rather than simply persuading or convincing others of predictive rightness. We seek to enroll and empower them to discover for themselves what is possible on a personal and spiritual level. Our intention is to be the bridge that allows people to feel more connected not only with one another, but also with the energy of the universe. We know that what we do is serious business, and while we go about it with humor as well as compassion, we always take it very seriously. And being a good psychic medium requires courage and intelligence and an integrity, and most importantly, heart. For us, tapping into the psychic energy of the universe is as natural as breathing. It's no more difficult than turning on the radio and tuning in and receiving information. We know that that's not easy for most people to believe and much less achieve, but we know that everyone has some intimate level of intuitive ability, and our goal in this book is to help you discover and nurture your own natural, supernatural talents. You too can access this higher level of understanding that will allow you to unleash your true unlimited potential. In the following chapters, we'll explain the factors that may have been preventing you from accessing your own psychic intelligence, how you can overcome those stumbling blocks, and what you can do to enhance the intuitive abilities you were born with. Not all psychics receive information the same way. As you'll be learning, some people are better at receiving psychic information in auditory form, or others see mental images. Some people are more emotionally sensory, and still others simply know what's coming to them from spirit world. These 4 ways of getting in touch with our psychic intelligence are what we call the 4 clairs, and we'll be showing you how to determine where your particular psychic talent lies. Once you know that, you'll not only be able to tap into whatever turns out to be your primary source of wisdom, but you'll always be able to use the methods we'll provide to enhance those areas where you may be less innately intuitive. We'll help you become more adept as peeking around a corner to see both of the warning signs and the positive signals of the universe. The universe is sending your way. We'll provide you with all psychic tools you'll need to define your dreams and ambitions so that you can discover your true life purpose and enhance your love life and improve personal relationships and enjoy vibrant good health and bring more wealth and abundance into your life. A friend once told us, "You are two of the few people I know who are truly living an authentic life." And it was a great compliment and a hard one. We are here to tell you that if you just listen to that still, small voice within you and use the tools we provide you to, will find your wondrous, authentic path and become the person you are meant to be. If you want to hear more of this book, there will be another video coming up, so stay tuned to see that video. See you in the next. Bye.